In the heart of Africa, the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo is a land of stunning contradictions. Its green hills and deep valleys hold some of the world's most precious minerals. Gold, tin, and coltan, the metal inside every smartphone, are buried beneath the soil. But this wealth has not brought prosperity. Instead, it has fueled decades of conflict. As of early 2026, the fighting continues, a complex web of old grievances and new battles. For the millions of people who call this place home, life is a daily struggle for survival, caught between armed groups who all want a piece of this valuable land. The conflict is not a single war, but many smaller ones tangled together. It involves national armies, local militias, and rebel forces, each with its own agenda. The Congolese army, known as the FARDC, is meant to protect the country's borders and its people. However, it is often outmatched and struggles to maintain control. To bolster its forces, the FARDC frequently relies on alliances with various local militias, including groups known as the Wazalendo or Patriots. These shifting alliances make the conflict incredibly difficult to understand and even harder to resolve, creating a landscape where the lines between friend and foe are constantly blurred. The region's history is stained with violence that spills across borders. The shadow of the 1994 Rwandan genocide looms large over the Congo. After the genocide, many of those responsible fled into eastern DRC, forming armed groups that have persisted for over 30 years. This created a lasting security problem for Rwanda, which has repeatedly intervened in the Congo, arguing it must protect itself from these threats. This cross-border dynamic has turned eastern DRC into a battleground for regional powers, where the suffering of the Congolese people is often a footnote in a larger geopolitical struggle for influence and security. At the center of this storm are the vast mineral resources. Control of a single mine can fund an entire armed group for months, allowing them to buy weapons, recruit fighters, and maintain their power. The fight for coltan, gold, and other minerals is a ruthless business. Groups establish illegal checkpoints, force villagers to work in dangerous conditions, and smuggle the resources out of the country. This war economy ensures that the violence is profitable for a few, while the majority of the population remains trapped in poverty. The very wealth that could build schools and hospitals is instead used to buy bullets and prolong the suffering. Two major armed groups dominate the current conflict: the M23 rebels and the FDLR militia. The M23 is a well-organized and disciplined force, largely composed of Congolese Tutsis. They claim their fight is one of self-defense. They say they are protecting Tutsi communities from persecution and violence, particularly from groups like the FDLR. The M23 argues that the Congolese government has failed to protect them and has even partnered with their enemies. To achieve their goals, they have captured large swaths of territory in North Kivu, establishing their own administration and acting like a parallel government in the areas they control. On the other side is the FDLR, or the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda. This Hutu-led militia has a dark history, as its founders were involved in the 1994 Rwandan genocide. For Rwanda, the FDLR is an existential threat, a reminder of a past it vows to never repeat. Although the group is much weaker than it once was, its continued presence in Congo is the primary reason Rwanda gives for its involvement in the conflict. The Congolese army has been accused of working with the FDLR and Wazalendo militias to fight against the M23, a partnership that only deepens Rwanda's mistrust and justifies its aggressive posture. This dynamic creates a vicious proxy war. The Democratic Republic of Congo accuses Rwanda of directly supporting, arming, and even fighting alongside the M23 rebels. International observers widely support this claim, viewing M23 as a highly effective proxy for the professional Rwandan army. In turn, Rwanda accuses the Congolese army of integrating the genocidal FDLR into its command structure. This cycle of accusations makes true dialogue nearly impossible. Each side sees the other as an aggressor acting in bad faith, trapping the region in a state of perpetual conflict where every attack is seen as a justified retaliation. The complexity does not end there. The Congolese government has also received support from other nations, including Burundi, which has sent troops to fight alongside the FRDC and Wazalendo coalition against the M23. These foreign interventions turn Eastern Congo into a chessboard for regional rivalries. Each country has its own economic and security interests, which often come at the expense of the Congolese people. The fighters on the ground may be Congolese, but the strategies and weapons are often supplied by outside powers who benefit from the continued instability and access to resources. For ordinary families, the war is a relentless reality that dictates every aspect of life. When fighting erupts, the first instinct is to run. Entire villages are emptied in a matter of hours, with people grabbing whatever they can carry and fleeing to the relative safety of displacement camps or larger towns. These camps are overcrowded and lack basic necessities like clean water, food, and medicine. Children lose their chance at education, and families are torn apart. The violence is not just on the battlefield. Human rights groups have documented horrific atrocities, including mass killings and widespread sexual violence, committed by all sides of the conflict. Yet life in the midst of war is not only about suffering. In areas under M23 control, some residents report a strange sense of stability. The rebels have been known to crack down on petty crime and banditry, making some roads safer to travel. They have established their own courts and tax systems, creating a semblance of order where the state was absent. For a farmer who was constantly robbed by bandits, or a small business owner tired of corrupt officials, this new authority can feel like an improvement. This mixed reality, where a brutal armed group can also provide a degree of security, shows the deep failure of the Congolese state. However, this stability comes at a high price. The M23 is also accused of severe human rights abuses, including forced recruitment and summary executions. The taxes they levy fund their war machine, and justice is often arbitrary. For those who do not belong to the right ethnic group or who are suspected of collaborating with the enemy, life under M23 rule can be terrifying. This creates communities divided by fear and suspicion. A neighbor could be an informant, and a casual conversation could be misinterpreted as an act of betrayal. The psychological toll of this constant anxiety is immense. Even in moments of calm, the scars of war remain. A recent report highlighted a devastating surge in sexual violence, with thousands of women and girls assaulted. Health clinics, already under-resourced, have run out of essential medical kits to prevent the transmission of HIV after an attack. Yet, amidst this horror, there are sparks of resilience. Local community groups and brave individuals work to support survivors, offering medical care, counseling, and a path to justice. A woman who receives help at a clinic might later become a volunteer, helping others navigate the same trauma. These small acts of solidarity are a powerful testament to the enduring human spirit. For years, international diplomats and regional leaders have tried to broker peace in eastern Congo. Countless ceasefires have been signed, and numerous peace accords have been announced with great fanfare in foreign capitals. Leaders from the United States, Angola, and the African Union have all mediated talks. A major agreement in 2025, for example, called for Rwanda to cease its support for M23 in exchange for the Congolese government finally neutralizing the FDLR. Yet, these agreements consistently failed to translate into lasting peace on the ground, collapsing under the weight of deep-seated mistrust. The primary reason for this failure is that the talks are disconnected from the reality of the conflict. The leaders signing the deals are often the same ones fueling the war through their proxy forces. Each side accuses the other of breaking promises before the ink is even dry. The M23 rebels argue they cannot disarm while the FDLR continues to operate freely with the support of the Congolese army. Meanwhile, the Congolese government refuses to negotiate directly with a group it sees as a foreign-backed aggressor. This stalemate leaves no clear path forward, and the fighting continues as soon as the diplomats leave. For the people of Eastern Congo, hope no longer lies in grand international summits. It is found in smaller, more immediate things. It is the sound of children playing in a schoolyard that has reopened after months of closure. It is a market day where farmers can sell their produce without fear of being extorted at a checkpoint. It is the work of local peace builders who mediate disputes between ethnic communities, trying to mend the social fabric torn apart by war. These small victories are what sustain people through the long, uncertain wait for a larger, more permanent peace that seems to perpetually remain just out of reach. True, lasting change will require more than just another ceasefire. It demands a fundamental shift in how the Congo is governed and how its wealth is managed. The government must be able to protect all of its citizens, regardless of their ethnicity. The rule of law must replace the rule of the gun, and the perpetrators of atrocities must be brought to justice. The region's mineral wealth must be harnessed to build a future for the Congolese people, not to enrich armed groups and